Hello, Greg from Balloon Market here, and welcome to BMTV. As you can see, once again, we are joined by the wonderful Mark Drury from Qualatex. Mark, thank you for coming in.
Wonderful.
The wonderful Mark
Thank you.
Drury. I think we're going to do, like we do at the end of our emails every week, a different adjective each time.
Perfect.
So you're wonderful today. Maybe we should do it with alphabetically. W.
F's going to be fat at this time of year.
Anyway, thank you once again for coming back. Well, Valentine's Day is the next big thing, isn't it?
It is, yes.
It's only a few weeks away.
Yeah.
So what are you going to show us?
Well, I've got some airfield designs to run through.
Okay.
Most of the techniques we've done before. There might be the odd a little bit.
Yeah.
Some great new product to show you that coordinates all together.
Okay.
But then I think we need to have a bit of a conversation on how you set up Valentine's or any season to make it a success.
Yeah, because you were saying earlier that some people make a massive, massive success out of every season, and other people just about make it through, but there's no, to retail shops, it can be that different.
It's really hard to see why one person is so successful and somebody else isn't for the same day of the year, seemingly the same conditions. And the only thing I can really put it down to is if you buy 10, 18-inch foils, and I know this is a terrible example, but if you buy 10, 18-inch foils in advance of a season, you're a self-fulfilling prophecy that you're going to sell 10, 18-inch foils. So I guess setting up as early as possible and taking the leap, making some investment in product and really going for it is what I think is the key.
It's funny you should say that, actually, because it's happened not for a particular season, but just stock in general. We found when we were stocking 150 of a particular 18-inch balloon, and then I think it was Martin in the warehouse says, well, why don't we just stock more? So we started stocking 250, and guess what? We sell the 250, so you got to up it to 300 or whatever. And it just seems to be that if you have the right amount of stock, you will sell that stock. You might have some left over, but in general, if you have it, if you hold it, they will come.
Well, I think we can try and give some confidence to people.
Yeah.
And we'll show a few designs if that's okay.
Let's do it.
And go for that.
Yeah.
I've got some pre-prepared inflation as usual. As these are all airfield designs, one of the things that I wanted to make a point of, now I've got my own very own box of sand here.
You have?
Is to try and use, where possible, a nice heavy sand weight with airfield designs, especially if you're going to be making some offset designs and the offset pieces where the weight might not be central. It will really help you if you've got a decent weight.
I know I've said it before, but whenever I pick up, like I've just picked up a quad over there, and it's a chrome quad, it's coming, and I just thought it just feels that quality. Once it's got that weight, you just feel the quality.
And it's very inexpensive to make a slightly bigger weight.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
So as we've done before, I'm just going to drop that directly underneath.
Oh, we have done a BMTV, haven't we, on sand weights?
Yes. I'm sure we have.
We'll put that on the screen. And have we done a BMTV on how to do quads?
I'm sure we have.
We'll put that on the screen as well.
So, okay.
All right, there you go. Base.
Very, very simple. And then, new product.
Ombre
number 1. So I'm going to actually place this down onto our piece here. Already, what I've done is I've tied off a 160Q.
Yep.
Just the tail at this time. And I'm going to tie that directly into the base, if I remember which way round.
Oh, I was getting mixed up.
I know.
It's really weird,
when you're to camera, it's hard, isn't it? Okay. So there we go.
That's simple enough so far.
Yeah, really good. And to be fair, it's not Valentine's at all at the moment, but just one balloon can change that.
Wait a second, Mark. This is a first birthday balloon, is it not?
It could be.
Okay.
It's not.
It's not.
So on the top, we've got an attachment point created with some stretchy tape.
Yep. I think we might have done that on a previous BMTV.
Might have done that on a previous
On
BMTV.
many previous BMTVs.
Now, if you don't recognise the colour, what I've done is I've double stuffed a standard pink
into a
inside
white.
a white, and I've used the premium twin air
And not all digital inflators will do that, will they?
No,
So-
very, very easy to do. So, just going to attach this nice and tightly into the top. I'm going to lean it over to one side and attach something else.
Okay.
So I'm going to tie this in slightly looser than I would normally. Okay, and then that's going to nestle down just off to one side. Okay.
Okay.
And then, if you don't mind passing me my
My
balloon.
Oh, my.
This is so silly, isn't it? So these are North Star 16-inch gold, and all I've done is I've used some balloon bond, as we've done on previous shows.
I think we've done that on BMTVs before, yeah.
And I've just attached those together and attached a little bit of balloon off to the one side. Okay. And then all we have to do to finish is just position them.
Okay.
And it's now, Happy Valentine's, my number one.
Very nice, Mark. Very nice. Okay, that's lovely. And simple. And air-filled.
And air-filled. And what I'm making a point of is that you need some ability to make some designs in advance. Really important with the season that you're able to have some bits that you can make up in advance of the day, pre-sell.
Yeah.
Everybody seems to be getting into pre-selling with the Christmas. You were talking about the
elves.
the elves.
Yeah.
And it's exactly the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And I also think in terms of stock, everybody's concerned about overstocking for a season and then holding on to the stock for 12 months, or effectively, some of their profit being held up in stock.
Yeah. So, but your advice would be get as many pre-orders as you possibly
As many
can.
pre-orders as you can.
Should you get deposits? Would you recommend getting deposits?
I would.
Yeah,
I would
okay.
definitely get a deposit. And sometimes these days with credit card machines, you can actually do pre-authorization.
Yeah.
If you work out how to do that, that can work really well for bigger seasons.
Yeah.
But for Valentine's Day, I'd take as much as you can as pre-order, payment in full, and then by having the same individual balloons available in a multitude of designs, classic helium bouquet and a bouquet 3, a larger luxury bouquet, and then an air-filled option, it means that the same stock can be sold into lots of different designs.
Yeah.
And effectively you can offset any of the risk of over ordering, because you're not sure exactly which designs people are going to go for, and then year on year you can build on that with the knowledge of the previous year.
So you could essentially get 4 or 5 lines and make 20 different designs.
Exactly,
Okay.
and I think that's the best way of mitigating the risk, but also saying, we're in this to make a success.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Awesome. So that is design number 1.
Yeah.
Do we have another design?
We do.
Are we going to click your finger?
Okay, very quickly.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. So, design number 2.
Design number 2.
Oh, wait a second. There's some chrome, and that feels quite heavy, doesn't it? Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Just feels the
And
quality. Yeah. Brilliant.
Okay, so again, no surprise. And you can personalise. You can make this your own. You can maybe do some more organic sizes off it, make it your own. But I think it's really important to have very quick designs that you can do over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Because if you're aiming big, you've got to put you're going to have to put the hours into to make it all. So
I remember, Mark, when we first started and we were doing just balloon in a box, and I think it was our second Valentine's Day, so just over a year in, and we did 400 orders, and we got 1 hour's sleep, and we had, it was our first Valentine's Day, and we had our daughter who was literally weeks old, and 1 hour's sleep and 400 orders. And it was trying to prepare as much as we possibly could in advance, but they were all helium filled. They were all going out balloon in a box. We had 5 collections from Royal Mail that day from our house that we were living in at the time. Oh, the more preparation you can do, the better. So,
and these can be made 3 days in advance without any fear at all.
and the good thing is as well, is if you've got, even if you've not got a shop, if you put it on Instagram or whatever, if if you show a design or two that you've made, they're the ones that you will sell.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
Okay.
So again, no surprises. I'm just going to take that down through air clusters.
Tie a knot or not tie a knot?
You can figure of 8 or tie a knot, whichever you think is easiest for you.
Yep.
Lovely new design this is. I don't know whether you noticed.
Yeah, I did.
Excellent. I love the fact it's double-sided. It's got different design on the side. It really gives it a front and a back.
Yeah.
And then we're going to put our smiley guy on top.
So what I've learned, if you wanted to, you could have used one 260Q for that.
I could have done.
Cut it.
Yes, I could have done.
But you'd like people to buy more.
Actually,
260s or 160s.
I'm one of the people that would never say don't make the most of your
absolutely
of your wasted product. I always say save that. And if you can reduce the amount that you use, fantastic.
Yeah. Well, Rob Driscoll last week, he was just using tiny bits.
Yeah.
And it works really well.
Yeah.
Cool.
So something slightly different for the top. You might expect me to create another cluster for the neck. We are going to create a cluster, but I'm going to use some 350Qs.
Oh.
Tie these together as a duplet.
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to leave a little bit of a stretch between them, and then I'm going to put my 5-inch that are downsized in to make the rest of the cluster.
All right.
So that is actually a 4-balloon cluster.
Yeah.
Still.
So what are you going to do with the other two?
That was to show you that I'm not going to make a cluster.
Oh, I see. All right.
And then we're going to drop these into the top of the design.
I see.
As long as you've crossed over a couple of times.
Yeah.
Then your smiley guy will sit correctly. And of course, as you can see, these are curved slightly. You can curve these more.
Yeah.
Just by giving them that noise that you don't like doing,
I
Greg.
know.
So I'm not going to do too much of that.
Thank you so much.
If you wanted to, you can take them down to the side, or we can, if you wanted to go to the lengths of putting a twisted hand on there, you could. But I quite like with a 350 that it's just a big hug.
Yeah.
I suppose
like
that's
that.
the
It's
hug.
it's a big hug.
A big hug that way. Love you, Mum.
But you could use that as a marketing thing. Yeah. Give your mum a hug, and then this is it.
Exactly.
I love it.
You should be in marketing.
I could be, couldn't I? And
then obviously I should remove my excess at the back, but I don't think you can see it at the moment.
And once again, air filled. So
all air filled, and again, really, really quick and simple.
Yeah. Okay. Don't get those in Car Factory.
They don't.
You don't.
No.
So there you go. Okay, excellent. Right, well, we're going to click
Next
your finger
one.
thing. Next one. 1, 2, 3. No, wait. 1, 2, 3.
1,
2,
3.
Okay, Mark, design number 3.
So this time I've used some coordinates, and we're going to go up in not just a vertical. We're going to have it offset slightly, just to add some separate interest.
A wonky design.
A slightly wonky design. So this time I've attached a 260 across to the base of an air-filled 18-inch heart, and then I've used some attachment point for the top.
Yeah.
In the same way as we've done
Is that
previously. New? Yeah.
It's quite funky,
got
isn't
a little
it?
friend.
Oh, look at that. Little and large. Do you remember Little and Large?
I do actually.
They were
Yeah.
funny, weren't they? Went to the, well, I've got to tell you, all right. Went to the Panto the other day, and what's the name of them? Went to see Peter Pan. It was excellent. I've not been to Panto for years, but the Grumbleweeds, they were in it.
Grumbleweeds.
Oh, they were hilarious.
Did they do the combine harvester routine?
No, they didn't.
Oh,
but
that's
they
a shame.
did some quite risque stuff.
Did they
that
really?
the kids obviously didn't get, but it was really good. I highly recommend it. And Marty Pello, Wet, Wet, Wet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's very good.
Fantastic.
Anyway, I don't know how we got onto that.
So I'll attach this in, and then we're going to attach into the top of that air bubble, brand new bubble.
Wow. Very nice.
Made a small flower.
I think there's a BMTV Basics or BMTV. We've done that flower as well at some point.
But because it's a nice strong colour, coordinates with the base, and you can still tell it's a heart when you put something in there on the custard that sort of develops it into a different shape.
I see, yeah. Okay.
And now we can attach our bubble to the top. Might want to drop this down if that's okay.
So I thought you would have put the bubble on first and then done something with the heart, but that's interesting.
Okay, so I've got to remove my excess, which I'll do in a moment when we're finished. But then on the side, I've used some of balloon bond, and I've pre-attached that there.
Oh, I did not see that. Okay.
I've heat sealed a little 9-inch mini, and then I've roll tied the neck with a 160Q very, very tightly, and then cut it off, and you get this nice neat finish to the balloon. Attached again, a separate piece there, and this can all be done in advance. So again, I'm thinking of making this nice and quick and easy for everybody. And then you can get your design.
I think you've talked about it before, but balloon tape on balloon tape works better than just one piece of balloon tape. Is that right?
So you get a much stronger finish.
And once again, also air-filled. You can still prepare in advance, and
just a little bit different.
Just a little bit different.
Just a bit offset. And obviously remove your excess and make pretty when ready to go.
Excellent. All right.
Design number 4.
I'd like another one, please. Okay.
Always one more.
1, 2, 3. All right. I'm back again. So, design number 4.
Design number 4.
One thing I'm noticing with these, I hope this is the same, but they're all quite quick. I know you've prepared some stuff in advance, but they're all quite quick.
But I think that's the point. If we can do as much advanced preparation as we can, then we can actually make them up and get them out. It's a lot easier, especially if you've got a relatively small space. It's a lot easier to store components in multiples bagged together that can be quickly put together to then be delivered or collected by a customer.
So rather than making the whole thing at once, if you've got a bag full of those, for instance, that's better than having just one whole design.
Exactly. Okay. And then it's more of a on the day itself when you're really short of time. Two things: you've still got theatre for your customer. Because balloon shops are theatre. And people enjoy that. That's why they're going to a professional. It's not just something off a shelf pinged out to somebody. They are noticing that you are putting some effort in and you're creating it and putting it together for them. But also, you've got that advantage that say I do accidentally burst something to customers there. I have got the others made up, and then when I've got some time in between, then to recreate that base for the next design.
And even if you've not got a shop and you're working from home, it's just the speed aspect of it. It's just so much faster.
And the storage room. I can bag all these together and tie them off, where you can't really normally bag and tie off finished designs.
And the other benefit, Mark, I'm thinking, is that if you've done these a day before, 2 days before, and you might have the occasional faulty foil.
Well, you'll know about it prior to the actual day itself. It takes the stress out of the final day.
It does. Okay, what are we going to do this time?
Something slightly different. I've again the base you might have seen. We've not tested this one, so this will be interesting because this is a pyramid weight. This isn't one of the sand weights that we talked about using earlier.
Yeah, when I picked that up earlier, it felt decidedly lighter than the sand weight. Yeah.
But what I've done is I've put a balloon into the top of there, and that's because when we put our shape in this time, I want the shape to be offset slightly. I don't want it to sit in the centre of the cluster.
Okay.
I just want it to be offset.
Okay. Wonky.
Oh, a bit wonky again.
Wonky. Technical name.
Technical name for it is a bit wonky.
What do you call a donkey with 3 legs?
Wonky!
Well done.
How's your dad joke?
It's going really, really well. If you want to hear some dad jokes, just go and see our TikTok page, Balloon. Is it Balloon Market or Balloon_Market? Might be Balloon Market now. Just go and see. I was on TikTok. I tell some dad jokes.
Excellent.
No, they're not.
No. So I'll move this down again, but you can see now that by having that extra balloon in there, we've thrown the design off to the one side.
Yeah.
Rather than it fall all the way down, by having some extra floral piece there, I've just given it stability to go over to the one side.
Excellent.
Okay. I think this might be a bit light on the base, but we'll soon see. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to attach a couple of leaf motif out of a 160 to the base of the balloon here.
Yep.
Otherwise I'll be left with something mechanics that I don't like seeing.
Okay.
So that just means that then when we attach this balloon, I've already got again our stuck on balloon bond.
Did I say stretchy tape to stretchy tape earlier when I should have
I
said?
don't know, that's normally
balloon
my trick.
bond
You
to
normally
balloon
correct me
bond.
for that.
Yeah, so maybe I got it wrong. I can't remember what I said. It was 5 minutes ago after all.
Okay. So, do you mind holding that for me?
Moment of truth.
Now I've still got to attach the second side.
Okay.
Just to put it right. But you will see that it might, weight-wise, it might just pull it over to one side.
Possibly, but it's not too bad. So you're going to attach that up there then?
Yes.
Okay.
Just to give it its final security.
Mark, we're getting close to the end of the show. Question of the week.
Thank you for the reminder.
All right.
You know, you can see I'm concentrating not on this.
I'll just rub this for a long time so I can think of a question of the week. Yeah, I know.
So how many Valentines did you actually do? It's my turn to ask a question.
That time, the balloon in the box one,
Yeah.
it was 400. I'm sure, I can't remember if I'm honest. Maybe it was 200 that first one, but actually no, the second one we were in our little unit, and I think that's when we did 400. Fantastic. But we still did it was still more. I think it was around a couple of hundred that first one when we were working from home. But it was through the night. It was absolutely vile, horrible, horrible. And was it worth it? I think it was. But that's the thing, you can make quite a bit of money on one day, and it will carry you, for a good number of weeks or even months.
Fantastic.
Well, that's worked.
Worked, but I would expect, and I've lent it over as much as I can, but I'd expect, you see that tipping point there?
Yeah.
So that's the point of putting a heavier sand weight in.
Yeah.
If you're going to create anything that moves over to the side, because balloon, it's all air filled, so we haven't got to worry about Californian law.
Yeah.
It's not helium filled, it's not going to fly away.
Yeah.
So all of this is within the Californian law. That's okay. And these attachment points are really, really strong. We've proved before that you can pick bases up and so on with them.
Absolutely.
They're really good. My only issue would be is if there's not enough weight at that point, then you might have the design being physically unstable.
Yeah. Okay, that's great. So Mark, before we get to let's move this out of the way.
Yep.
Before we get to the question of the week, what would you say the most important things are for people to have a successful Valentine's Day?
Preparation and confidence.
Okay.
Actually having a go and saying, we want to drive our business forward. I've even with distributors and people that regularly buy products, you can see on seasonal product, if they're ordering a set amount each year, and that's all they ever order, and then each year I've got a few left, so I'll put a few less on the order next year, then it's a self-fulfilling prophecy to not being successful.
Yeah.
But if you invest in it up front, you decide on what you're going to do and go for it, and I promise you you, that's where the spoils. The people that take that little bit of a risk and put some effort into it, get out there as early as you can, and start promoting now, and you know, you can offset some of the risks, as we've said, by having the same product used in multiple designs, and pre-orders. But yeah, get out there and give it a good go.
Anyway, Mark, as you know, as a guest on BMTV,
and thank you for preparing me for this,
you get to ask the question of the week.
So the question of the week will be, has anybody had a customer that's proposed using a balloon?
Oh.
And if so, was it Valentine's, and what did they do for it?
That'd be really interesting. If anybody has any stories or comments about that, that is really, really nice. So excellent question. Well done. Right, Mark, thank you so much once again for coming in. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And hopefully we'll see you all again next week. Bye.